5 million live in Moscow. Every 10th resident is a Jew.
על כל 10 אנשים, אחד הוא יהודי. אתה חש באופן כאילו בלתי מודע, שאתה מפתח חוש אישי להכיר יהודים. בכל מקום
A former diplomat at the Israel embassy in Moscow says, I developed a sixth sense for recognizing Jews. It's in their eyes, intelligent eyes, inquisitive eyes, troubled eyes, eyes that suddenly look straight at you, straight at you.
חודרות לך, אם מישהו מסתכל פתאום ישר אליך, ישר אליך.
Tel Aviv calling Riga USSR.
פה מדבר זלמנסון, דוד של 3 שחקנים שבמשפט ריגה.
Zalmanson here. Whom do you want in Riga? I want Riga 73680. Zalmanson Yosif.
73680. עם זלמנסון יוסיף. זלמנסון יוסיף. כן. תודה רבה. כן.
Operator, we can't reach Riga. Zalmanson. Maybe you'll try another line. Operator, I'm sorry. Moscow doesn't answer. The Zalmanson family in Riga. Yosif Zalmanson, a former Red Army officer. His daughter, Silva. His son, Israel, now 19. The elder son, Wolf, a major in the Red Army. Silva's husband, Edward Kuznetsov. Silva, Israel, and Kuznetsov were put on trial in Leningrad on the charge of having hijacked a plane in which, according to the prosecution, they tried to flee to Israel. Wolf faced an army court-martial on the same charge. In the face of the Leningrad trials, Jews from the Soviet Union held a hunger strike at the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. One of them was Abraham Zalmanson, 4 of whose relatives were among the accused. Some of these Jews were themselves in Russian prison camps. A new song was born in these camps. Blue and white, those are my colors, all my days. The accused, Mogilever Vladimir, 26, Jew, prisoner. Dreisner Solomon, 22, Jew, prisoner in Leningrad. Mavtser Boris, arrested on August 4th, 1970. Goldfeld Anatoly, Jew, prisoner in Leningrad. Shevchelovich Mikhail of Riga, arrested on October the 16th, 1970. The Leningrad trials aroused world opinion. Newspapers throughout the world protest the harsh sentences handed down at the trials, which were held behind closed doors. Communist newspapers in the West join in the wave of protest. They sing, if my world here is a jail, and if I am so hated, then let me go, then let me go. The free world is aroused. Crowds demonstrate in the streets. Ordinary citizens, leaders, intellectuals, the new left, Students, professors, religious leaders, plain people. Copenhagen, Buenos Aires, Paris, Washington, Jerusalem, Brussels, London, Stockholm, Marseille, New York. Edward Kuznetsov was sentenced to death at Leningrad. His sentence was commuted to only 15 years imprisonment at hard labor. Butman Gilia, arrested and awaiting trial. Fagin Grisha, a Red Army major, committed to an insane asylum. His crime, returning decorations for valor which he received in battle. Koczoubeyevsky Boris, engineer, sentenced to 3 years in prison. Alexandrovich Rut, arrested, charge unknown. Dimshitz, Mark, major, sentenced to death. Sentence commuted. No picture of him has reached the West. Spielberg Arkady, prisoner. Kornglid Lev, prisoner. Boguslavsky Viktor, prisoner. Chernoglas David, Jewish prisoners. People believe protest can change harsh sentences. Demonstrations are held in front of Soviet embassies throughout the world.
Let the media see, let the whole world see.
In New York, Anatoly Dobrinin demands increased protection of Soviet diplomats in New York and threatens reprisals against American citizens in the USSR. The demonstrators protest the suppression of Jews in the Soviet Union and the denial of their right to go to Israel.
זה לא פשוט. למה אני יהודי?
A voice from the Soviet Union. I am a Jew. It's hard to be a Jew, but it's also easy to be a Jew. I was born a Jew. In the street I heard that I was a Jew. In school I heard that I was a Jew. I heard that I was a Jew and that it's bad.
שאני יהודי ושזה רע.
I asked my mother, why is it bad to be a Jew?
שאלתי, אמא, למה רע להיות יהודי?
Отпусти, народ еврейский, народину свою, не устану повторять, отпусти народ.
תעודת זהות שלי.
My identity card says Ebrei, Jew.
Hebräer, Yehudi.
Wird das Feuer verloschen werden, scheint durch der Himmel mit seinen Sternen.
Romboli, outside of Riga. A communal grave for tens of thousands of Jews, victims of the Nazis. To this place come living Jews, for here is one of the few places where they are permitted to assemble. The Yiddish song was recorded in Russia. Am Yisrael Chai, the people of Israel live. Moscow, 1948. Golda Meir, Israeli ambassador to the Soviet Union.
ומסביב המון יהודים אצל בית הכנסת במוסקבה. שגרירות ישראל, דגל ישראל, ואני לא יכול...
An Israeli flag, and I can't take a step toward it. Moscow, 1956. An Israeli delegation to the youth festival.
אני רציתי לשמוע ועוד ועוד. אני רציתי לראות ועוד ועוד. אני רציתי לדבר.
I wanted to hear them. I wanted to speak with them. I wanted to meet them. I wanted to shake hands with them. I wanted...
שנה וחצי אחרי פסטיבל היה מיקרופון בתקרה, על התקרה למעלה.
After the festival, I found a microphone in the ceiling. They heard everything we had said at home. In 1957, they arrested me. They sentenced me to 6 years in a prison camp.
ונתנו לי 6 שנים מחנה ריכוז.
In our country, Russians, Jews,
Ukrainians, Turkmens, Uzbeks, Belarusians, Georgians, Armenians.
The leaders of the Soviet Union have, in their speeches, always affirmed the freedom of the different nationalities in their country, including the Jews.
They all live in peace and close friendship in our country, and we're very proud of the fact that the national problem does not exist in our country, that all the many nationalities inhabiting the Soviet Union are together marching towards one common aim.
חיי אדם, זכויות אדם, כבוד אדם.
Human life, the rights of man, the honor of man, justice. We learned what these concepts mean to the Soviet Union. Golda Meir, Prime Minister of Israel.
של ברית המועצות.
Someone formerly from Russia. I don't want to speak. I still have relatives there.
Я столкнулся с антисемитизмом, довольно сильным, наглядным антисемитизмом. Офицеры и солдаты неоднократно оскорбляли меня. И тогда я решил отказаться от присяги. И когда пришел день принятия присяги, я заявил,
They drafted me into the Red Army.
принимать присягу.
I was the only Jew in the unit. I encountered anti-Semitism among the officers and among the soldiers. I couldn't take the oath of allegiance to an army like this. In retaliation, I was sent to the psychiatric ward of military hospital number 263. They said I wasn't normal.
Человек, который отказывается от присяги, не может быть нормальным.
In the atheistic Soviet Union, the only recognized Jewish institution is the synagogue. There were always old people there, but now young ones come as well.
יהודים יחד, בשמחת תורה, 40,000 יהודים יחד. זה ברוסיה, כשיהודי הוא תמיד לבד.
Jews at Simchat Torah, 40,000 Jews. And this in Russia, where the Jew is always alone. Jews drunk, but not with wine. Living Jews, Jews living as Jews.
יהודים חיים בזמן הזה, חיים כמו יהודים.
Now many synagogues have been closed down. This synagogue in Odessa was set ablaze. Elsewhere, religious books disappeared. Cemeteries have been desecrated.
I didn't know my father till I was 6 years old. He was in prison. His crime, he wanted to go to the land of Israel.
But some Jews are given permission to immigrate to Israel. Here is a farewell party for a few such lucky Jews, photographed by an amateur cameraman.
Vilnius, Leningrad, Memiskat, Vladivostok.
Those who remain behind write a song in Hebrew. You are going to Tel Aviv. We send with you regards to all our brothers.
Haifa, Tel Aviv, Yerushalayim, Tzfat, Danat, Beersheva, Kol Totea, Porchim.
And the song goes on. An end to the exile will come at last to the Jews of Russia. Tell it throughout the land of my fathers that hope still lives here.
סוף גלות יבוא גם בברית המועצות, תצטברו בכל מקום בארץ אבותינו, כי התקווה עוד פה חיה.
I was not brought up Jewish.
Allah, age 21.
My bringing up was not Jewish, let alone education. I knew nothing about it. I knew only that I'm a Jew. It was written in my passport, and I was registered like a Jew. There was no Jewish schools, theater, newspapers. I knew nothing. And the attitude towards former Jewish culture in Russia was so critical that I didn't want to study it. Perhaps I could get some books, but sometimes I was afraid of being Jewish. So when I learned about Israel and about the history of Jewish people, I understood that I can be proud of my people. So I decided not to go from one country to another, but I decided to return to my motherland. I think it is also very difficult. You must have some strength. Perhaps I'm not too modest, but you must have some strength and to overcome your fear, which you have. I think that, I not only think that, but I know that the Soviet authorities don't care about the feelings of people who are separated from their families. And they don't care for families. If they can let somebody out, they have some special, their own reasons for it. But they don't let people out who have just families and who ask for it. Because they can say that mother and children, this is not one family. So that's why they didn't let my husband together with me.
To the chairman of the Council of Ministers of the Soviet Union, we, a group of Jews, wish to immigrate to the land of Israel. Jews write to Utan, to Kosygin, to Golda Meir, to Izvestia, to the Red Cross. Help us immigrate to Israel. And the Jews sign the letters. Gamze, Zand, Aronovich, Sobolyev, Dibkovsky, Weintrub, Kapshitzer, Kerler, Elashvili. You have to pay 900 rubles for a visa. That's a whole year's salary.
Если у него есть диплом, он должен заплатить еще 400 рублей.
Natasha, age 21. I don't understand them. Why did they let me leave and not my husband? Other Jews, let us go. Drapkin, Mintz, Glaser, Brauder, Polsky, Mikhailashvili, Mirkin, Zak, Rabinovich.
Евреи, подающие на выезд в государство Израиль, их тысячи сейчас.
Despite the provocations, thousands of Jews register to go to Israel. And there are many, many more who want to register but don't dare to yet.
Провокации разного рода, но евреи не отказываются от этого пути. Они идут на все.
Jews in Russia write in Hebrew, Am Yisrael Chai. Jews in the Soviet Union are allowed to assemble at funerals and sometimes in the synagogue on holidays. It was Israel's Independence Day. This was our holiday. We found a clearing in the forest. Lunia played the guitar and we sang. We weren't afraid. We felt it was our right. This was our holiday.
אנחנו לא פחדנו, משום שיש לנו זכות, זה חג שלנו.
We all have one fate, one hope, one song which we have been singing for 2,000 years, even in moments of threatening despair. We are full of hope. We have never lost hope. In London and Paris, in New York and in Brussels, in Jerusalem and in Leningrad, the same song, Am Yisrael Hai, the people of Israel live. Our eyes are raised toward our brothers on trial in Leningrad. Let my people go. In New York, 2,000 professors demand the right to emigrate for every Jew who wants it. Port workers in Italy refuse to unload Russian ships.
We have appealed for the lives and the freedom of the Jews convicted in Leningrad.
In Copenhagen, the windows of the offices of Aeroflot are broken. The Soviet communications media spread the poison of anti-Semitism. The Soviet flag is burned. Newspapers predict there will be no further trials of Jews. Correspondents report from Moscow, more Jews are arrested. Tel Aviv calling Riga.
שוב זלמנסון מפריע, אתמול לא קיבלתי קשר, אולי היום. למוסקבה, לריגה. כן.
Good evening, Zalmanson again. My call hasn't been put through. Zalmanson in Israel is still trying to get Zalmanson in Riga. Silva Zalmanson, 10 years. Israel Zalmanson, 8 years. The son-in-law, Edward Kuznetsov, sentenced commuted to 15 years at hard labor. Wolf Zalmanson, sentenced by a military court to 10 years.
Tak. Dziękuję serdecznie. Dobry בבקשה. כן, הלו. קטלוגי. יוסיף. יוסלה. ריק שטרקר. Was machst du? Ich weiß, wo ist Wolf?
Where's Wolf?
Ja.
Arrested. Where are the others? They have already been taken to the camps.
Welche Statja macht man ihm? Was heißt welche? Weißt du nicht? Von 10 bis 15 Jahren, dieselbe Statja geht ja? Dem Dienstag. Wo wird er sein? In Riga? In Leningrad? Dina ist da. Ja. Gleich. Jotzele. Ja, mir weiß Namen.
We hope we will all be together soon. We hope all will be well. The Zalmansons in Israel are speaking with Zalmanson in Riga, in Yiddish, Hebrew, Russian.
Mir wissen, dass man geht sich gut auf Fachjorden, aber jetzt wird man noch aufnehmen. Nur was übergeben, man mir aufnehmen, wenn man rausschicken Avisos. Ja. Hallo? Hallo? Да. Сейчас, она не могла говорить, она плачет. Сейчас я ее позову. Алло. Onkel Josef. Moin. Wir dachten, das alles wird sein gut.
Times are changing. It'll work out.
Und wir hoffen sehr, dass alles wird sein besser. Josef! А? Поцелуй детей! Josef! Поцелуй детей от меня! Поцелуй детей, если ты их увидишь! Josef! Поцелуй детей, если ты их увидишь!
Uncle Yusuf, kiss the children for me if you see them. Uncle Yusuf, Tanya speaking.
Они уезжают сегодня. Дети! Они не уезжают сегодня. Они сегодня не уезжают. Нет. Дяденька, мы будем продолжать. Они не будут сидеть все время. Мы будем бороться.
We will continue the struggle.
Дяденька, басана баба Иерусалим. Басана баба Иерусалим.
Next year in Jerusalem.
Да? 100%.
No doubt about it. Next year in Jerusalem.
100%. Будем в Иерусалим. Да.
And the song goes on. I say to Pharaoh, let my people go. To Pharaoh I say, let the Jewish people go. Let the Jewish people go to their homeland.